Doncaster in the 90s had the best nightlife in the country. It's well documented. People used to travel from really far to go out in Doncaster.
I'd always wanted to make a play about Doncaster. I think it's such a unique place. There is such an infectious energy that I feel like it would have been really good on stage. I think it looks at a really interesting point in history, politically and socially. It's heart, it's a coming of age story, and I think there is something for everyone. I think it will speak to a demographic of people who were partying in the 90s, but I also think it will speak to a demographic of young people now who are on that journey.
I think the core story of Children of the Night is about wanting to find that joy when you think you were living your absolute best life. So our main character is just on the search for the best night of her life.
When I would go to London and I'd be out, people would say, "Where are you from?" And the first thing they'd say is, "Oh, I've been on a night out in Donny," or "Oh, Doncaster nights out," or whatever. And I suddenly realised, like, it had this reputation as being like a proper party town, like people from far and wide.
It's the story of nostalgia and hoping that you can reclaim a memory.
My favourite song in the 90s has to be Children of the Night. That song encapsulates that time for me, just sort of that youthful rebellion.
A lot of this show is about Lindsay and her experience and trying to recreate that wonderful, incredible night out that she had in Club Karisma back in the 90s. And we go through the play rediscovering her memories around that and her trying to find that again. I think they're really going to expect something big, bright and vibrant, but also something that makes them feel very nostalgic. The audience are going to have a good time, because who doesn't have a good time clubbing in the 90s?
We are talking about a very specific club, Club Karisma, but we think, you know, people who've never been to that club before will still feel the nostalgia, and it will still evoke a lot of the feelings of going out at the time. We visit loads and loads of different locations, and although it's very much about clubland and people going out in Doncaster, there are a lot of domestic environments as well, so we really do hop about in time. We've just had to make everything really, really slick, and therefore create a design that has a lot of integrated lighting within it that can change and evolve and give us different mood and tone for the different locations.
Something that's really exciting about this is finding a nice balance between creating this 90s club and all the fun that goes with it, and the expanse of, you know, a huge space and a huge club and lots of people, and so making sure we find that balance where people are going to want to get up and dance, but also they're going to watch our story.
Yeah, it's a real sort of love letter to Donny's nightlife, and like addressing some of its problems, but also, you know, sort of encapsulating that no one does it quite like Donny. Whether Doncaster knows it or not, nationally and internationally, it is sort of renowned as this party town.
Doncaster had something else, and all the people that lived it say that. And so it's just really nice to capture that moment in this play through the ups and downs of everything that happened.
Children of the Night will be a cultural event in the town at exactly the right time, when it is sort of evolving into its new identity as a city. As well as the show, we're opening an exhibition alongside, so that will open at Doncaster Museum. Heritage Doncaster have been a really big partner with us, and that's all. You know, I wanted to write the show, and the more I spoke to people, the more I realised how much there was to talk about and how many different subcultures and different things that came up, and I was like, I can't put it all in one play. The play can't do it all. The play is like, you know, 90 minutes of fun, but there needed to be another home for all of these other things. It was really important that it was made at home, so made in Doncaster for Doncaster, with a whole Yorkshire base of creatives. And then I think once it's been shared at home, the dream is to take it to the rest of the UK, to give it a big national tour.
People should come and see this play because it's going to be a really good night out. They're going to get a great story, but they're also just going to have a lot of fun. They're going to feel a lot of nostalgia if they ever went out to a club at any point in their lives, in any city, and they're going to want to be able to find this fun again.